If you want to check out what my favorites have been for the month of April, not only makeup, delving into some skincare, hair care, and podcasts, then please keep on watching. Hello, my friends. My name is Alicia. Thank you so much for stopping by if it's your first time here. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. A fitness professional who loves beauty and where you will find movement tutorials, guides, makeup, I can't talk today. Makeup tutorials, how-tos, and everything in between. If you want to see my movement adventures, you can find that on Instagram. If you are in NYC, want to check out my class schedule, pop-up event, and workshop details, that all can be found on my website. I feel like I haven't filmed in a while. My allergies have been killing me. Timestamps will be down below. If you don't care to hear the updates, I understand. I thought I had the flu, because I know allergies do not have the same symptoms as a virus like a flu or a cold in terms of the body aches and the nausea. I woke up one morning and I was just like, my stomach was hurting and my body was aching, and I'm like, great, I have the freaking flu. I have the flu. But it went away in a day, and I think the day before, I was with Maddie. She unfortunately has really terrible doggy IBS. Woke me up 2 a.m. We strolled around for half an hour so she could eat grass. That's her laxative, so she could just poop out whatever that's troubling her tummy. Went back to bed, fine. She woke me up again at 6, and the whole day I was reading all your emails from the last eyeshadow declutter and went to class to teach, and I just didn't get any rest that day, didn't take any naps. And that night my boyfriend went to the Avengers Endgame premiere, and when you come home late, no matter how late it is, you need to wind down, right? And I am the same way. Even if it's 11 p.m., I kind of have to, relax and then take a shower, maybe eat something, a little bit of a snack. And that could take time. And maybe I won't get to bed till like midnight or 1 a.m., right? And I was up still answering emails, but I just felt so ill. My eyes were itching like nobody's business. I was sneezing my butt off, nostrils raw, upper lip raw, and I had to go to bed. I was like, I need to sleep. I woke up the next morning, thought I was okay, and as I started to move, and again, from the Maddie episode and not getting sleep the night before, my body was like, you're done. Please get some rest, because we're shutting down now. So anything you want to accomplish within the next hour, you better make it happen. I'm like, and I had 3 classes that day. Had to teach the first one. I didn't want to because I just felt I was like a strolling, contaminated flesh of blah. I was subbing, so I'm like, Alicia, just make it happen. And while I was teaching class, it was like, whoa. I just closed my eyes, and while I was queuing, you're like, you can do this. Just give them the best 50 minutes of their day and you can go home. And that's what I did. I made it happen, but I had my 2 classes covered because I just could not push through. And I have in the past. I've taught sick before. It's not recommended because it's not that I want to spread disease and just make everyone else sick, but sometimes it's really hard to find coverage as a fitness instructor last minute when you feel you're sick the day of classes you have to teach. And sometimes it's just circumstance, and I have to come into work because no one will show up and there'll be no class. And again, not ideal circumstances, but that's just how it rolls out sometimes. And I got my 2 classes covered, just stayed in bed all day, made sure I still did some email work, napped, went to bed again, and now I'm feeling a lot better. My body's feeling a lot better. I'm super tight still, unfortunately, and I have a lesson with my handstand coach, and I don't know if I'm gonna get through it because I haven't stretched since Tuesday. Tissue number 1. And I don't even know how I'm getting away with wearing eye makeup right now. This is a miracle. I haven't worn eye makeup for the last 3 days because my eyes just could not take it. And I'm just happy to finally be back on an agenda that's more consistent because it's been tough. I don't like being sick. I try to take care of myself and get rest, but rest is probably the number 1 important remedy for anything. You gotta sleep, you gotta get your rest, or else your immune system just shuts down and it can't defend itself against anything. So that was my little spiel. Thank you so much for listening if you did. If you skipped over, then it's okay, I understand. Shout out to Emanuela Asabor. She sent me Hardy & Sons chocolate mint. So kind in her for doing this. I was floored because guess who got a P.O. box? It'll be down below in the description box with all my other contacts if you want to send me something fun. When I saw chocolate tea, I was like, But when I tasted it, I was like, It tastes like black tea, but the aroma is just so deliciously chocolate. And if you're into creamers, because I don't put anything in my tea, I take it straight, baby. But if you're into creamers and you put like a really nice fancy creamer in here, I feel like it enhanced the chocolate experience. You know what I mean? And it has mint, so it's a nice sensation in the mouth. It's good. I love it. Thank you so much, Emanuela. And also, this will be mentioned in the favorites as well. Maya's earrings that she made for me. So with all that said, let's get into the favorites. The time stamp would have already been presented earlier in this video, so you're welcome. You know what? I'm actually going to start with a non-makeup item, and that is a podcast. Jim Kwik's podcast is all about brain health, fast learning, reading, and anything pertaining to the brain. I've been really into that ever since I've read or heard rather the audiobook by Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Yourself. Really interesting. It just kind of delves into how we get into these patterns mentally, how we don't notice that they're there, and we're in a circle of these habits, and that's how the universe, or what the universe presents to us, right? And this is also something that Jim Kwik touches on in his podcast. Whether you believe it or not, you're right. If you believe you can't do something, your brain is going to also believe that it's not going to do it either. But if you believe that you can, then there you go. And Joe Dispenza also touches on this as well in terms of breaking out of those mental patterns that I find myself in a lot, that I automatically, do you do this sometimes, that you have arguments with people in your brain, in your head, or you just make up these pretend scenarios and they put you in such a stressed out state? You might not think it wreaks havoc on your well-being when you have these pretend fights in your head. They actually do. You have your sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight response, and you have your parasympathetic nervous system, which is for restoration, recovery, and digestion. It's actually the state we are initially supposed to be in most of the time, but we are actually in the sympathetic nervous system most of the time, because those pretend fights or deadlines or ooh, I don't like that, whatever, those moments of stress, your brain and your body translates that as fight or flight, like death situation. It doesn't know if you're fighting with a friend in your head or you're falling off a cliff. That's why it's really important to lessen those moments, because they actually wreak havoc, and those stress levels can have a really negative impact on your mental state and on your body as well. And that's what meditation is, and he talks about that. And meditation is not just about blanking out your head. Meditation is the training of your mind, and when you close your eyes and you try to focus on a thought, or maybe you just focus on your breathing, and your thoughts start to stray, right? You think about, oh, I gotta do this later, I gotta film this YouTube video. The action of coming back to that thought that you initially started with, or your breath pattern that you were counting or practicing, is the act of meditation. It's if you were in an exercise, like let's say a push-up. Everyone, I think, mostly knows what a push-up is. Your hands up by your chest, you push your body off the floor without arching, maintaining that neutral line in your spine. The struggle going up is what's going to make you stronger and condition your body to eventually push up without that struggle or that physical exertion, right? That's what meditation is. The act of the pushing up is the act of coming back to that thought that you're focusing on, or your breath patterns. The more you do that, the more you condition your mind, the less you'll find yourself straying. And even if it's 10 minutes a day, maybe it's 5. Maybe you just sit in the park and you just close your eyes for 5 minutes and you breathe in and out for 5 counts. It could do you a lot of good. If you're really upset from a conversation that you had, or maybe you just read a really bad comment on Facebook or Instagram, because those things are really hard to escape in this digital age. There's some nasty things being written right now. And I'm not saying it's easy, but it's a step in the right direction. And with Jim Kwik's podcast, it also delves into increasing your focus, dream recall, the different states in your sleep patterns, the delta. Well, beta is when you're awakened right now. Delta states, alpha states, did I mention that already? Those states are where the creativity happens. Like a lot of poets, writers, musicians, painters dream up their masterpieces. And that's why sometimes if you are in a field that requires creativity, or you just like to bake, or you like to knit, or you like to choreograph, or you like to paint, if you could envision these ideas and remember them when you wake up and write them down in a journal, I think your passion will just ignite and it will inspire you to keep going in whatever craft that is. I highly recommend the podcast, not only the podcast, but the audiobook by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I think no matter where you are in life, how old you are, as a human, I feel everyone can benefit from this post, so I'll make sure to link everything down below. Tea time. Another favorite thing I like to mention this month is my declutter. I cannot tell you guys how special some of those emails have been. I don't want to get emotional. There were some people who just wrote to say, I love your channel. Thank you so much for your content. Even if they didn't get anything from the declutter, they were like, how can I help? And with the shipping, it's like so overwhelmingly positive. I can't thank you guys enough. And yes, it is a lot of work with sending out makeup to everyone who requested them makeup items for my declutters, but I love it. I love connecting with you guys. I love hearing from you through email and just learning more about you in terms if you're in university or you have this job or whatever situation that you're in. I feel it just kind of widens the platform for our community to grow, and it also helps me learn about you guys as well. Like, I love about learning the different fields that you're in and how makeup has changed your life and how it has positively impacted you. I feel extraordinarily light getting rid of all the stuff that's been in my drawers for quite some time. And let me tell you, man, it was hard to let some of these items go. Okay, because I love to keep and hold on to stuff. I do. I've gotten better over the years. I'm like, don't keep that box. Why are you keeping that box? Please just recycle it, okay? It's been really tough, and some limited edition items like the Mario palette from Anastasia, you know, I could have kept that, but I forgot that I had it. I did. If it was so important to me, I would have remembered that I had it. You know what I mean? If it was that of that much significance in my collection. But really, I only think about Pat McGrath. So Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, a few of my Colourpop eyeshadow palettes, and other things, I'm sure. But the palettes and other makeup items have just been sitting in my drawer. I just feel belong to someone who really wants them. And definitely a more green approach to cleaning out and decluttering your makeup collection instead of throwing stuff away. And for you guys to be at their new home, I highly appreciate it. I very much appreciate the contribution to the shipping costs and materials to enable me to send these out. And I'm sorry if I didn't respond to your email yet. I've been really trying with being sick and getting rest, but still being attentive to those emails. If you don't hear from me, it's not because I'm ignoring you. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Going forward, just so you know, for the next declutter coming up, more eyeshadow, I will put a pinned comment under that video to let everyone know what's gone or what's not, just so you're not wondering. But if you want to email me and say hi, you know what I mean? But I have to say, mostly everything is gone within day one of upload, and I usually upload in the morning. If I do upload at another time, I will make sure to announce that time the day before so you can get ready for that. But yeah, I've loved the declutters. Thank you guys for making it such a positive experience, and overall the collaborative effort for making things run smoothly. And again, I loved hearing from all of you, and whatever I can do to kind of help you if you're financially not able to buy makeup, or you just love a piece to add to your collection, or you just want to help out the fam with shipping costs, I highly appreciate all ways you contributed to this effort, and I can't thank you enough. I love you guys so much. Okay, stop getting emotional. Stop it, you're too much. I would like to start off with some skincare. I mentioned this in my Sephora recommendations, the Biossance Squalane and Tea Tree Oil Cleansing Gel. I have to say, this was very much a nostalgic product because of the scent. Back in my 20s, when I was trying to figure out my skincare agenda and buying everything in sight to discover what that agenda could be. I went to Lush Cosmetics, and when they had their tea tree toner, I was like, oh my god, I have to have it. It fights acne, I have to have it. When I used this cleansing gel, I immediately thought of that tea tree scent, and I was like, oh, younger Alicia trying to figure it all out. Because Sonora, who works in one of the downtown Sephora locations, she is an esthetician and skincare specialist in the store. When they used to carry Body Shop and they had the tea tree line, she was like, that was just overwhelming. This is just right. And I have to agree with her. I like to use a cleansing gel as a second step in my double cleanse routine, because if you use a balm, which I use the Pharmacy Green Clean, and there happens to be a film left over, I like to use a gel just to get that off, along with anything else that might have been left over, whether it be sunscreen, dirt, or makeup. The suds are very lightweight. My skin doesn't feel stripped. It rinses off easily. And I just love the scent. It just feels like a very much holistic healing experience with my cleanser. Because before I used to use the Kate Somerville Exfoliate Cleanser, which I also really loved, but I recently, in the sale like I wanted, I got the Drunk Elephant Glycolic Night Serum. Because that's going to be my exfoliating step, I don't necessarily need my cleanser to be exfoliating as well. So that's why I got the Tea Tree Cleanser. I've been loving it. I look forward to using it every day in the morning and night. So definitely a favorite for the month. And also from Biossance is their Squalane and tea tree oil, their facial oil. I mentioned that I wanted to try this because I finished my Squalane vitamin C and rose oil, which I really loved. I thought because we were entering the spring and summer season that I needed an oil that was a little more lightweight and more clarifying in properties, because I get the moisture in definitely from my other products in my skincare routine. And I love that this has tea tree oil because it is said to be antiseptic, to help prevent breakouts, and just really healing to the skin. The scent is not overwhelming. The tea tree is very lightweight. I don't feel it will aggravate your senses. If you're a sensitive skin, maybe not tea tree oil, because perhaps that's more for the oily skin types or normal combination skin types. If you are sensitive and dry, I would just stick to their Squalane vitamin C and rose oil formula. But if you're like me and you're in the normal category and maybe teetering more oily as we get into the humidity types of weather, and you insist on using an oil, I will highly recommend the tea tree formula, because it is slightly more lightweight and it just has like this nice cooling sensation. It's not stingy at all, but I feel because of the tea tree, it's just nice to apply on your skin. I do so after my moisturizer, and it again feels lightweight, leaves the skin in a beautiful texture before makeup application. So definitely have been loving that. Let me know if you picked up any of these products and what you think about them. Next up, I wanted to mention a local brand. This is called Enfleurage. They have one store in the West Village. They specialize in essential oils as well as carrier oils, hydrosols. This is their frankincense water, which I love to just spritz on my face daily or during my skincare routine, whether it be night or morning. This is their aloe vera spritz, their aloe vera extract. One thing I love about Enfleurage, I mean, there's several things that I love about this brand. I just love the actual branding of their products. I love the amber bottle. I love the simple label. It just has like an outline of a flower because, again, they specialize in essential oils. When you walk into the store, it's very small, but you see you have all the essential oil diffusers in different designs. You have like elaborate ones and you have more low-key ones. They have an iPad where it lists all the essential oils that they carry, what they're designed to do, the benefits, any conditions, skin conditions, yes, but also fatigue, headaches, nausea is really extensive and actually very interesting. And they also have shampoo, conditioner, body lotion. I have jojoba. This is what I use to fill in my little clicky oil pens that I got on Amazon just to kind of carry around for my cuticles that I love. If you just like to use jojoba on your skin, on your hair. This is such a great buy. I forgot how much this cost. It wasn't a lot, and they use organic everything. This is 8 ounces. It is glass, but I like that because it just feels heavy. Something I will definitely keep at home and not travel with, but if you insist on traveling with any of the oils you decide to buy from Enfleurage, you could easily just store them in something plastic or more travel friendly. It comes in a pump, which I love because you could just do this. See, there you go. We got that jojoba on my nails and we're all done. You could put some on your ends, and they have everything from argan oil, castor seed oil, what else? Grapeseed, almond, avocado oil, all organic and high grade. I don't have it with me now. I have it in Maddie's house, but they have this rose body lotion. All the ingredients are either organic or naturally derived. I mean, there are no fillers in there whatsoever. And the scent is just so woodsy rose. It doesn't smell like Crabtree and Evelyn rose. Not overly perfumey, and I feel really suitable for those who really want a rose scented product in their routine, but they just can't take the scent sometimes. I find you will really enjoy that. I'm not sure if they have it online, but they'll be more than happy to send it from store because they definitely have it from their store, and they're really serious about where their ingredients are sourced. They had to reformulate their rose body lotion because they found out that one of the ingredients that they get from the person who grows this ingredient was no longer sustainable. They were like, nope, sorry. They go through extensive means to make sure, again, all the ingredients labeled on their products are sustainably sourced, and if they are not, they gotta change it, and they're very serious about that, and that just speaks volumes on their integrity and that they're gonna be safe. All the ingredients are listed. They are more than happy to answer any questions concerning their products, so definitely head over to their website. If you are in New York, they're located on 13th Street between, this intersection is like the worst because it just breaks up into so many places. It's between Greenwich and 7th Avenue. If you love essential oils, I will highly recommend that you pay them a visit. I love that tea. Some good tea. What is next? A shout out to Adrienne, who is the owner of Nua Baa Fifi natural handmade skincare. She makes these beautiful shea body butters, and she was so nice to reach out via Instagram to ask if I wanted some. She does have an Etsy shop, so I'll make sure to put all that info down below so if you want to pay her a visit. She sent me the lavender and grapefruit and the fragrance free Simply Butter. She has more fragrances on her Etsy shop if you want to take a look. This is how it looks like inside. So it has shea butter. I can read you here: raw mango butter, organic raw shea butter, sweet almond oil, apricot oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil, lavender, and grapefruit. This is the lavender and grapefruit. The fragrance free, the same thing down to apricot oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil, and then coconut oil is the last ingredient. The fragrance free still has a nutty scent to it because I think shea butter is just naturally and maybe even mango butter just has that natural scent to it. I do appreciate this texture because it's really lightweight, because when you think butter you might think heavy on the skin, but it's actually really easy to emulsify. It still feels lightweight and it's easy to absorb. I love to use butters at night. I just love to slather myself with all types of butters before I go to bed because I do feel it makes a difference in how your skin feels the next day. If you love to take showers during the day, I still feel very lightweight to put on your clothes after because it's not sticky in any way. This is the lavender and grapefruit. My one critique I will have to say is that I rather would have this smell solely like lavender. For me, the lavender and grapefruit doesn't read the same in my head, and when I think lavender or grapefruit, I have a specific fragrance profile in mind. This doesn't align with it, and it's okay because when you apply it, it does smell more or less like all lavender, but the grapefruit in there does something funny to it. I'm not quite sure what it is, but fragrance is strange. To me, that might be the case. To someone else, they might love it. I would still check it out because if I'm just speaking texture, it's really lightweight. It's so nice on the skin. Also, you could apply this on your hair. You could apply this anywhere. If you want a little bit of shine, if you don't like to use traditional oil finishers or finishing balms or what have you, but you still want that shine on your hair, I would highly recommend any of these butters. Again, they emulsify quickly, they absorb beautifully. The lavender, if she were to make like a lavender calendula or like an ylang ylang, oh my gosh, that for me is like the greatest thing ever. Maybe she'll make it. Adrian, can you make me one of those combinations, please? But again, I will put her information down below so you could check that out. Hair, oh my gosh. I had the pleasure of working with Uncle Funky's daughter in this month's BeautyCon. They were so nice to have me on board as a Dynamite Diva to sell products at BeautyCon, to interact with anyone who came by, and working with the brand and Renee herself because Uncle Funky's daughter is Black owned and woman owned, to work with her and Crystal and just dive deeply into the brand again, because we're selling the products, so it's really helpful to know what the products do and how they're beneficial. It just kind of was a resurgence of love for Uncle Funky's daughter and me. And I was like, oh man, I really love this brand. And I have to say, a lot of the products I revisited and fell in love with again because of my Aquas towel. My Aquas towel to hair products is how my Wayne Goss and Sonia brushes are to makeup. You have the right tools, you revisit products that you might have been super in love with, you were okay with, but you just couldn't find the way. You couldn't really establish a relationship with them because you were still trying to figure it out. I went back to my Curly Magic, Good Hair, and Super Curl as wash and go products with my Aquas towel. I've been using them non-stop now. Loving those combinations. Particularly though, I did mention this in my 2017 best of products video for hair, their extra butter. I love this product. It's rich. It kind of reminds me of the Chemet Biologics Burdock Root Cream. The Burdock Root Cream is more citrus in scent. I can't even place this scent. It's just a nice scent. It's like not too sweet, not perfumey, not too sweet and sugary, because I love Creamy Rose formulas, but I just don't love how they smell like vanilla icing. I don't. I'm sorry. I apply this every day either on my Jane Carter Solution Leave-In Revitalizing Conditioner or their Thirsty Curls, their leave-in tonic that you can use on your hair every day. I just love how it softens my edges, how it gives me shine. It just softens my hair. It absorbs quickly. It doesn't leave it greasy. It doesn't build up on itself, because sometimes like the wrong combination of products, by day 5, your hair just feels a little like, not greasy, but it just feels producty. Like there's something on your strands that just desperately needs to be washed off. Might even have a bit of a cast on there, but this does not do that. It just feels soft. And again, my hair definitely needs a little bit of a wash and go situation going on, but you can see like the texture still. It is frizzy and separated, but at least they're soft. Really been loving it. But my number one product from the Uncle Funky's daughter line, my favorite, is their Bye Bye Build Up. I did work with them at one point. They were so nice enough to sponsor me for a few of my videos. But Bye Bye Build Up, the greatest slip ever in a co-wash product I have ever tried. This detangles like a dream. So good, because I've used co-washes that I'm like, I need to apply conditioner because my hair is not detangling. And I like to detangle mostly with my fingers before I even touch a comb. Like I don't want my comb to take care of my tangles. The comb or even a paddle brush is for refining purposes only. I need to use my fingers first to get the majority of the tangles out so I can prevent breakage and for it to just be a more gentle process on my hair. This has Rasul clay, which is detoxifying and has a lot of nice properties to it, because I love the idea of applying clay to my hair, but the whole process behind it and just how involved it can be, I'm just put it in the product for me, okay? Thank you so much. Rasul clay, aloe, leaf juice, coconut oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil. It has great ingredients in here that I feel are very much near the organic clean end of the spectrum, because one of their models is keep the junk in the trunk. Like they don't use mineral oils, paraben, synthetic dyes, sulfate, phthalates. So if you're into the more clean part of the spectrum when it comes to hair care, I will definitely check out Uncle Funky's daughter. And again, just working with them in BeautyCon, and thank you so much ladies for having me. So much fun to just help those who are looking for hair products that will enrich their life. Because even in this day and age, with as many curly natural hair products that are on the market right now, a lot of people came up to me and they were like, help, my son has an afro and I don't know what to do. And to provide that product knowledge and just to help people learn about Uncle Funkies and how the products work with each other, the benefits of the ingredients in the products, was a lot of fun. And with the Aqua's towel just enhancing their styling product to the max, heaven sent. Another reason why I love favorite videos is because not necessarily introducing new products every month, but revisiting those products maybe we took a break from, or brushes that we haven't used in a long time, techniques that we ran into that just kind of opened our eyes to just new possibilities. That's what's gonna happen now with this foundation. I've been using my Hourglass Vanish Liquid Seamless, my Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin foundation, but on the day that it was a little too, it was like unseasonably warm, and I love my Makeup Forever, but sometimes even though it's matte, I feel like if I don't set it, it could be a little emollient on me. So I decided to pull out my NYX Professional Can't Stop Won't Stop Again, which won Best Foundation of 2018. When I applied this foundation, I was like, this is why I love you. This is in the shade Cinnamon. It's a little tan for me, but with everything else I apply, it balances itself out. I freaking love this formula. It is so lightweight, but coverage is great. It just melts into your skin. And again, the dry down on this is just not super matte. I feel like it's a soft matte, but it's just so forgiving on, I feel, drier skin types that hate matte foundations because it enhances the texture on their skin. This for me is just beautifully formulated. I love that I feel it could cover a wide spectrum of skin conditions and types. If you don't like a dewy, emollient, creamy foundation, but you don't like super matte either because it's just super drying and enhances your pores, I will highly recommend the Can't Stop Won't Stop. I've been wearing this nonstop on days like today that it's like a little too cold, because this is what happens in New York. It just goes up and down, up and down. You can never predict what's going to happen the next day. I don't technically need to powder, and I didn't. I just went straight in with my bronzer, and my skin feels soft. It doesn't feel like it's breaking apart. I didn't have it on for a long time because I still have to go to training, like I said, but I'm confident that my skin, my makeup is not going to break down. And another thing I love about this foundation is it just keeps my makeup looking saturated all day, because sometimes, like after the 5-hour mark, your bronzer and blush, or my bronzer and blush anyway, my foundation starts to eat it up because it starts to break down and the oils are starting to come through. Not this. I'm gonna stay looking like this for a long time, okay? I love the formula. I love that it's fragrance free, because that's another thing I don't like about the Fenty Beauty. A lot of people swear by that formula, and I get it. Like, if you apply the right amount for your skin and you get your right skin shade, because sometimes it's so hard to figure it out, it could be a great experience, but I smell that on myself all freaking day and I just can't stand it. The Can't Stop Won't Stop, fragrance free, baby. Love that I revisited the foundation. And also the newer makeup item that I wanted to show today was, I hate their foundation, but I love their bronzer. The Fenty Beauty Sun Stalk'r Bronzer. So I mistakenly applied Hoola today. I'm so dumb. But on top of Hoola, I applied Caramel Cutie, which I applied with my Sonia G Cheek Pro Brush. This is like the deepest I could go probably from the line. I used it to kind of contour, but just give me a little more contrast on the cheekbone on top of Hoola. But I would have applied that on top of Island Ting, which was more for medium skin types. This leans more neutral brown. Bajan Gyal I have also, which leans a little warmer red. I love to layer my bronzers because I just think that's the best way to give that multi-dimensional effect. If you don't want to stick to one shade and you want different tones at the same time, best way to do it. And I've been using this interchangeably with Hoola, all 3 shades I got from Fenty, and I've been loving how my bronzer has been looking on my skin. These powders in particular are lightweight. I feel they're easy to blend. The finish is skin-like, and they layer beautifully on each other. Like, don't fear that they're going to turn muddy. I would suggest that you use a natural hairbrush because that's just going to ensure the most seamless finish. I feel you have to use synthetic. You might not get as much on the first application. You might have to build up. which is okay too, because you have a little bit of control there in terms of how the powder is going to appear on your skin to prevent any texturization from happening. But I don't think you're going to get this from this formula. It's going to layer quite beautifully, buff it out. It's going to look beautifully like skin. And again, the tones are gorgeous. They could have went a little deeper with 1 or 2 shades after Mocha Mami. We've discussed that several times. Hopefully they'll make that extension happen very soon, because those on the deeper part of the spectrum, I feel, should experience what a bronzer can do for their skin tone. And I saw that video when Hector was demonstrating Mocha Mami on, I forgot the model's name, forgive me, but he was applying it like a blush, and he was like, oh, you know, bronzers sometimes don't act like bronzer, but they act like blush. I'm like, no, you just didn't have the right skin tone for her, so you're changing up a bronzer's role just to kind of fit what you guys did. I'm not going to go more into that. You know what I mean. So, I'm just going to leave it at that. 2 eyeshadow palettes that I have to introduce. One is new, and the other is something that I've had for months. The new palette, of course, is the Disney Villains from Colourpop, their Misunderstood eyeshadow palette. I love this arrangement of color. This is definitely a layout suitable for those who love to use color, who love to experiment. But I feel if you don't, you have opportunities to still create daily friendly looks with the matte here, because you don't have a lot of mattes in here, so it forces you to kind of have fun with the other shades. You could apply this on your lid and maybe apply this purple or that lime green on your lower lash line. These more punchy metallic shades either on your lid or lower lash line, but you have the mattes to hold you down, and I feel mattes to further enhance these shades that don't solely rely on the typical orange brown shade. This has a little bit of glitter flecks in it. It's not a lot, but you can definitely use this to deepen up any of the shadows in here, and I just think it's so much fun to use. Like, this shade is just beautiful. It has such beautiful smoothness to it, and you can not only apply this on your lid, but it just beautifully buffs into your crease. You can just make this into your single eye look. The green is perhaps my favorite. I love applying this on my inner corner. Look how bright that is. Incredibly smooth. These have a little texture to them, so I would be careful. Maybe use a damp brush just to make those pigments adhere better to your skin, or just apply your eye makeup first before you go in with your complexion products. Jetsam is so pretty. Look at that duochrome effect. I also love a lot of the jellies that came with this collection, but again, this is so much fun to use, especially if you love color. But if you don't want to make the jump, I feel like you should with this palette. I think you would really enjoy it. A palette that I revisited that I was just like, oh my god, I love this palette. It's a Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream. This is a big palette. I feel it's not the most travel friendly palette, but man, I just love the arrangement of colors in here. I love how you can still keep it taupey brown, but if you wanted to, you could go more violet plum. The blue is a little dry. It's a little dry. I would have liked this to be maybe metallic instead. Maybe a metallic that you could zhuzh around your lid and crease, but you know, I make it work. I make it work. This shadow here, Sweet Cream, is probably my least favorite because it's so light. But you wanted to use Sweet Cream and in your my shade or darker, I would just use this as an inner corner matte brightening effect, or you could just block out the lid and use Sweet Cream all over it. Sugar Cookies, the same thing. It's very like kind of chalky. It does have a little bit of shine to it, especially if you buff it into the skin, so it has like that iridescent finish to it, but nothing I reached to right away. I would have loved for this to be maybe more golden in tone, but you do have Honey Dip in here that I feel not only appropriate for your lid, but if you're deeper than me, could be a great highlight for you. My favorite mattes are Toasted. I love the taupiness of this shade, but it's not super gray. It's like perfectly gray brown. And then you have Soft and Sweet, which is like your mauve type of brown. I love Bittersweet on Soft and Sweet and Cherry Juice. Just such a beautiful plum smoky eye you can create with these three. And then you have Blackberry to add that intensity, whether it's going to be your plum look or more your traditional brown look. And then you still have cranberry and warm pie. Warm pie is the matte with glitters in it. So if you wanted to steer it more red brown, you could with your eye look. But I just love this palette. I think it's so great and just different from your typical warm, all eyeshadow palette like she did with her latte palette and that I have as well. I've created really nice looks with it. It's so easy to use. The tones of the shadows are amazing. I don't have this on today. I have Sydney Grace on. I know I declared not buying as much in my Sephora video. I always wanted to buy Sydney Grace for a long time. I decided to finally do it. This is the Autumn Rain eyeshadow palette. I didn't present it as a favorite because I just got them like yesterday. I could already tell you I'm in love, but I want to dive deeper into it next month just to give you, or maybe just film a dedicated video to Sydney Grace shadows so we could do swatches and multiple eye looks with the eyeshadows. So just let me know if you want that down below. And the brush I wanted to present as a favorite that I've had for quite some time, and that's coming back in stock very soon, is the Sonia G Fan Pro. The only reason I didn't use a lot of the Fan Pro is because I love using her Sculpt 2, even her Sculpt 4. I love to also use my Hakuhoro brush. So I have a lot of brushes I use for highlighting that I rotate in between and bounce around. But the Fan Pro in particular is just so perfectly shaped and designed to fit right on your cheekbone. And it's goat hair undyed, so you could actually use this for hard to pick up creamy products that she actually had in mind when she designed this brush for. Hard to pick up creamy highlighters, but powder highlighters? I have today the Sydney Grace powder highlight. It's the Big Nerds palette. I got a little bit of Makeup Geek blushes, Luxie eyeshadows here, but these are the new Sydney Grace summer collection, and these two are the Sydney Grace facial products. So we got the highlighter in Duchess, and I actually have the blush on too. This is Thinking of You. I have that on as well. This, oh my god, I freaking love that formula. But this, with any highlighter, it just places it so perfectly and easily well where you need it to go. If you don't like highlighter because you feel it always turns out a mess, or it's just too much, or you just hate doing it because again you just don't know where to put it, this is just so perfect. And again, compared to other fan brushes in the past, it just keeps its shape beautifully well. It's so incredibly soft. And again, the way it just puts down product and blends it into the skin, maintaining glow, but still leaving that skin-like finish, is just unparalleled. It's unparalleled. It's hard for me to recommend just one brush to get from her Pro Face set. It's coming very soon. There's not a date yet, but just make sure you're on that mailing list. The Inochige is just it's just so beautifully designed, and I feel could cover a lot of roles in your complexion routine, from setting your foundation, buffing out your makeup products, blush, contour, bronzer, I mean everything, even highlight, everything. But the Fan Pro, I mean, it's just so good. You could even probably use this for blush as well if you wanted to. If you wanted to use a blush topper that has some shine and glow to it, you could use this fan brush to buff it onto your cheekbones. I think that's what Kelsey Brianna did in her Charlotte Tilbury Glow Palette, which I desperately want, but I'm like, Alicia, you can't afford it. I just live vicariously through her because those powders looked immaculately, divinely beautiful on her skin. I was like, Kelsey, your skin looks like it's been drenched in heavily sparkle. Oh, anyway, you're beautiful, Kelsey, you're beautiful. She used this brush to apply those blush toppers, and it was gorgeous. Simply gorgeous. So if you're looking for a fan brush that does it all and will do it all exquisitely, I revisited this brush this month, and I haven't been able to put it down. She's a favorite for sure, this month and forever. And the last favorite I wanted to present are these gorgeous earrings that were made by one of our fan members, Maya. She has her own jewelry shop on Etsy. It's called, I have it here, where's the card? No, I don't need the card, I memorized it. It's Etsy Maya Beading. I'll put that link down below. She is from Hawaii, and I was just so humbled and honored that she decided to make these pieces for me. She also made me this necklace, which is so gorgeous. I told her one of my favorite colors is lime, and she was so kind in making me these earrings that have the same lime beads. And then she made me these silver earrings, sterling silver I believe, with the turquoise beads in the middle, and I feel they're so gorgeous, incredibly lightweight. They don't feel like anything on your lobes, but they have such a beautiful impact in terms of the design and color story. So I've been wearing these nonstop. Thank you so much, Maya, for creating these for me and for sending them. She sent me some candy too, some lychee candy. Oh my god, I haven't been able to put those things down again. Like, I don't feel them on my ears, and I feel they're so optimal for those who don't like heavy earrings and don't wear heavy earrings because they stretch their lobes. These will not do damage on your lobes. I will highly recommend that you take a look at her designs. Again, we'll link everything down below. And now some fails. I already returned this product because I was excited when I saw it. Wayne Goss loved it. A lot of people did. I'm gonna put up a picture because, again, I don't have it with me. It is the Drunk Elephant Slay, I believe, because the hashtag is like Slay Me or something like that. I don't know. The Slay Cleansing Makeup Balm. The one trait I loved about this product was the magnetized spatula on the lid. That's really neat and really helpful. I wish Pharmacy did that. They do have a groove on the inlay when you open the jar that you could put the spatula in. So it's not magnetized and cool, but you know, it works. The Drunk Elephant, when I initially applied this to my skin, the first observation I made was how it wasn't tough to emulsify, but if you didn't work it in between your palms, you'll have bits left over. Like, you really needed to work it because it's a lot thicker than the Pharmacy Green Clean. Rubbed it on fine. It was when I started to rinse it off that I felt that film that was being left behind, and I was like, uh-oh. I rinsed it off, dried my skin. My skin was really soft, so I'll give it that, but I felt that layer of moisture along with my other products, which is a little too much. And again, entering the summer season soon, I don't need that right now. Maybe I could get away with that during the winter when it's super cold and the wind and my skin is a lot drier. But listen, I exchanged it for the Pharmacy because I just love how the Pharmacy rinses off my skin. It doesn't leave a film like the Drunk Elephant did. And quite frankly, I know the Drunk Elephant is a cleaner product, I know. But I just didn't like the film it left on my skin. I felt like it didn't emulsify like the Green Clean did. But skincare is like that. Just because I didn't like it doesn't mean it's not going to be great for you. So from my experience, I would highly recommend this formula for dry, sensitive skin types that need that extra layer of moisture, that benefit from a formula that is fragrance free, because the Pharmacy is not. Even though the fragrance is naturally derived, doesn't matter. If lime oil is not great for your senses or for your skin, you can't use it. The Drunk Elephant is very emollient and fragrance free, and I feel an optimal formula if you're that skin type or have eczema or psoriasis, anything in that realm of skin conditions, but you insist on using a makeup removing balm and you need a formula like that. Maybe it's worth checking out. I couldn't continue with it, so I returned it in exchange for the Pharmacy Green Clean, which I started with enthusiasm, so really happy to have that back in my life. The last fail is a hair product that I actually got months ago, but I used it once and that was enough for me to decide I'm never using it again. It's the, I don't know how to pronounce this either, the Boucleme. It came in a little set. I got it at Ricky's. I hate shopping at Ricky's because their return policy is just, there's none. And if you open it, you can't return it. And I get it. That is just a safer way to go. So you have to be really careful when you buy anything from Ricky's, and you have to know for sure you're not going to return it. I took a chance because it looked promising from the label. 0% sulfates, silicones, and parabens. Okay, we like that. Curl cleanser. No silicones, phthalates, zero foam for maximum hydration. Non-foaming cleanser, gently cleanses without stripping, leaving curls hydrated and moisturized. Okay, great. The curl conditioner. Ultra moisturizing conditioner penetrates the hair cuticle, leaving curls super hydrated. Curl defining gel. Smoothing medium hold gel, all day frizz control, incredible curl definition. This curl cleanser. As I was running it through my hair, or I should say attempting to run it through my hair, zero slip. No slip at all. I had to use my Diva Curl Wash Day Wonder and get the tangles out first because it was a day that my hair was tangled and I needed this to come through for me in terms of just smoothing out my knots, and it was not doing that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna use this whole bottle on one wash and go. You know what I mean? I'm gonna need you to be highly effective on the first dispensing. Okay, did not like that. The curl conditioner was okay. I felt like it had a more slip than the curl cleanser. Absolutely. I get a lot better slip from my Uncle Funky Soda Richie Rich, my Diva Curl Decadence One Condition. So that's a lot better than this. The curl gel was okay. I actually thought it reminded me a lot of the Natural Club's avocado curling custard, I have to say. They even have a similar fragrance profile, dare I say. Similar finish in terms of the hold it leaves behind. It doesn't leave like a crusty type of cast on the hair, but it does leave some hold. I don't particularly use this very often. I might use this again because out of the whole three, I probably like this the best, but really didn't like the curl cleanser or the conditioner. Like, I forgot about them right away. When I used them, I was just like, this isn't for my hair type. Absolutely not. I don't know what they were talking about when they were saying all hair types, okay? So that's that. I'm gonna give the gel another shot and I will update you on that if I discover anything fun, but in the meantime, I'm probably just going to use, again, my favorites that I've mentioned early in this video. So those were my fails. I can't believe that I had some. And that is it, my friends, for my April favorites and fails. Let me know what your favorites and fails have been down below if you picked up anything new this month, and we'll take it from there. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another tutorial, how to declutter or favorites. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. And Joe Dispenza also touches and you have your parasympathetic nerve, and you have your parasympathetic blah, 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 and just hello words. Let me take another sip of tea. But the palettes and all the makeup bottoms, that's just and the whatever. Oh god, my nose. Please don't sneeze. Please, I beg of you. I've had enough. They're actually still. I still feel it's very lightweight to still apply. You don't apply your clothes, you put them on, Alicia. They're the Fenty Beauty Son. You could use this fan brush to